what's up? It's your girl L Beasley, and I'm with my PLL partner, crying the best to ever do it with me, Shavana.
Hey, what's good? I like that.
You like that intro?
You hype me up, girl.
Well, I mean, you know what? We coming off a hype episode. I'm with my girl, the best to ever do it in the game.
Time out, but yo, Lo is like the brains of this operation, okay?
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, like you. I just go off your flow, girl.
So you my Hannah to my Spencer?
Okay. I was more like Team Sparia, but.
Well, see, to me, you got the humor and the sarcasm like Hannah. And I got the dry humor like Spencer. See, Aria too nice.
Yeah, I'm not that
We're
nice.
real blunt with our answers, and the two most blunt characters back beyond Bitchy, Allie, and Mona.
You know what? I like.
And we're not rivals like Mona and Spencer. So I'm kind of like I feel like we're Spanna.
Span. Okay, you know what? I'm cool with that.
I feel like I'm Spencer and you're Hannah.
You're
not as rogue as
Lavana.
Hannah. We're Lavana.
Lavana.
I like that. Oh my
or
god.
Lorvana.
Lorvana. Did we make a? Oh, I like that. Lorvana. I like it. I like it. It works. It works. You know?
Noggin.
dude.
Anyways, this episode of Pretty Little Liars was amazing, intense. There were some moments we had some questions and concerns, but Lauren, kick it off.
Well, I'm gonna go kick it off since she's pointing directly at me. But no, I think one of the highlights, of course, for the episode has to be the whole Charlotte, or more so who killed Charlotte, and that being revealed that it was Mona. Now, for us, we already had her on our suspect list, and because of the actual photos that Pretty Little Liars released with Mona looking like she was in the church at the top of the tower with the roses, we were kind of already like, well, either you guys really just not spoiled it, but just pretty much gave away that Mona's the one that did it, or it's going to be kind of a twist to it. And even though it was a twist, it wasn't a big twist. It was more so she accidentally killed Charlotte, almost in self-defense because her and Charlotte ended up fighting.
So did she push her off?
She pushed off of her, and then when she pushed Charlotte off
I'm saying, like, did she throw her over the building?
No, she did not throw her over the building. She was going to and was ready to, but in the end, she decided not to.
Get down?
Well, basically, the way Marlene King explained it in a Entertainment Tonight interview is that basically she posed and pushed the body down later and posed it to make it look like Charlotte. So, even though we didn't see Mona do that part, it was still basic. She did confirm that nobody came in after Mona and posed the body. Now, of course, unless Marlene King is lying, just so we don't figure it out before the finale. But she said in her interview that Mona still ended up, whether she pushed the body down, threw the body down, dragged it down the stairs, she still ended up basically.
Well, I still have some kind of concerns about Mona's confessions because she kept saying, I failed.
Well, I think the I failed was more about I failed to protect these girls. And I think that's where this Mona twist kind of somewhat also came. This wasn't Mona seeking revenge for stealing the game. This was really about what we've always said with Mona. Wanting to protect these girls. It always starts with Hannah because that's been her best friend for years. But it has also turned into a love and respect, I think, for these girls. In a different way than Hannah.
But she's always wanted to be a part of that group.
And the fact that she went there, I think with different reasons. Partly because, like she said, Charlotte, I don't believe that you're healthy. You can't play a player almost. Like, look,
because I'm damn near crazy.
I'm crazy. You're crazy. You can't play me. You may have Allison fooled, but you don't have me fooled. Exactly. You don't have me fooled. But then on the flip side, it wasn't just you stole the game from me or I want revenge for the dollhouse because we said we always believe Mona went through the most in the dollhouse.
She did. I don't care what nobody says. Sarah did not get tortured.
No, Sarah didn't get tortured.
I don't think she got tortured. I think she willingly left. That's just my opinion.
Completely agree. So I think when you add all of that, and then the fact that she again wants to make sure that her friends are safe, particularly Hannah, and then leads to the other girls, this really did turn into more so in the sense of I think she felt like she just failed. Because at the end of the day, I didn't come here to kill Charlotte. I came here to protect you. I did end up protecting you, but I ended up making it worse because Charlotte died because of me or because of us getting into a fight. It led to this brand new game and this brand new issue. So I thought Janelle Parrish, shout out to her. We've always said she's a great actress, and we've seen her get better and better each season. But she killed that scene. Shout out to Vanessa Ray, who always slays. Whether you like the Charlotte reveal, 2 seasons ago, you gotta respect Vanessa Ray and what she brought to CC/Charlotte/Charles. You gotta respect it. And I love seeing those two face off for sure.
Because we never really got to see a face.
Yeah, I agree. Especially in the battle of words, because those two, because it's like Mona and Spencer.
And I was
battle of words. It's great.
Yeah, so that was just a great scene. Sad that she died.
I think this confession led to another great scene between all the girls and Mona. It was the first time I think we all saw the girls feel for Mona in a way that we've never seen them feel before. We've always seen maybe Hannah be like a little indifferent about Mona because of her relationship. I think even maybe you've had moments where Allison and Spencer have had these different confrontations with Mona, but for all of them to be as a group, especially Spencer and Hannah in particular, and even as you mentioned, Allie. kind of showing these, I think for those three women in particular, to kind of be the softer ones. Obviously we expect Hannah to be, and we did like Hannah apologizing finally.
Yes.
Because even though we said no matter what, Mona probably would have got involved in this game, but when Hannah made a decision in 7:15, which is the episode
and
that
manipulated her.
Yeah, the episode that Troyan brilliantly directed and brought up addiction on Mona's end. We said, you know, if this comes back to bite Mona in the butt, we wonder how Hannah's going to feel. Even though you're not responsible for Mona's actions, but you did in your own way kind of use your own form of manipulation and, you know, love that you guys have for each other to ask her to kind of help save you. And I think it was good moment for Hannah to kind of just say, I am sorry, Mona.
Yeah.
In the sense of, maybe I should have never asked you to play this game again. I think Mona would have did it anyway.
Right.
But,
and I'm just trying to figure out, what did AD do to Mona in the between the tunnel or whatever for her to get back into her loser Mona stance?
I think it's just a psychological thing. It's almost kind of what Spencer says. You a lot of times, and I've seen this when people talk about, you know, mentally ill people or people who have had psychological breakdowns. Sometimes you go to a safe place, and that's pretty much what she was supposed to be going to. She was supposed to be going back to maybe where she felt the safest. Maybe it might have been loser Mona. Maybe before she started getting bullied by the girls. Maybe she felt like that was the innocent form of her, because I think loser Mona was the innocence of Mona.
And even like Mona 2.0 when she kind of wasn't too crazy.
Exactly. So I think it went back to an innocence level. And I think that's another reason I really love that scene, because it also shows Spencer being compassionate.
Yes.
And even though they've always had a great rivalry, they've always also kind of had
a mutual
respect and whatnot and admiration for each other. So I love seeing that, and I love Spencer kind of being the gentle one and kind of being like, Mona's going to be okay. You know,
like Dr. Sullivan's
on the way. So I think that was a great moment. I did love seeing that moment. So I think overall, even though it might have been somewhat spoiled by some people for they felt like this wasn't a big arc or whatever, I still thought it was a dope moment for sure, just to have Janelle Parrish and Vanessa Ray have that big scene together, and then lead to Mona, like I said, having an even better scene on her in loser Mona form, and kind of just breaking down, and just made you, for the first time, you never felt sorry for Mona. I'm pretty sure you did in that episode.
I did. I definitely did.
Absolutely. Speaking of great scenes, even though it wasn't a full scene of the liars, we got some good kind of liar Arya content. We kind of left with the relationship being strained, as we understood with the girls, and we opened.
I was late to understanding.
You were late to understanding, but I understood why, and I told you brought up some good points, and I love the fact that we disagree for the first time.
For the first time,
because we normally do not disagree when it comes to PLL and how we feel about characters' choices, and that was the first time, so it led to a good discussion.
Yes,
but I think, like you said, we ended with it being, you know, tension still kind of high between the liars and Arya for what she did, and then we open up with Ezra kind of being frustrated with the liars in a certain sense of, you know, how could you kind of shut her out like this? And while I thought Ezra made some great points, I also felt with Ezra, just like Arya needed time to forgive you when you pretty much lied to her, and you know, the book,
your mother,
you know, I think all these different things, just like she needed time, they need time. And I mean, this isn't them shutting her out. It's not like they're saying they're ignoring calls from her, or if she had showed up, they're kicking her out. In fact, Arya was on her way to come actually see the girls when she finds out the body's in her, you know, her trunk and whatnot, and that leads to her having a totally different plan so she can make up for what she lost. I thought he made some good points in the sense of, I think you need to let Arya know it's okay, but that we can move on. Because I think that was the key thing I at least took from Ezra's conversation, is you can be mad, you can be frustrated, but at the end of the day, we all have forgiven each other for these things. So y'all need to at least let her know y'all will forgive her, or you can forgive her. And I think that was the moral of what he was trying to say. It came out a little hypocritical on his end, but then at the same time I was kind of like, Ezra, I feel what you're saying, but I think
you're a woman.
Defend your woman. And I think the girls at the same time, you know, they kind of had Spencer kind of shy down, but I kind of wanted her to just kind of, or just the girls in general, to be kind of like, look, we need our time too.
Right.
Like, look, we are not shutting her out, but we're hurt. And I understand what you're saying, because you're thinking about it from a perspective of, I want to know where my fiance is because she's not here and you guys are all, you know, somewhat safe in this house. I
Right.
got it. But it was just kind of like, like we always said, we understood both sides. We
Both sides,
understood why
definitely.
Ezra was kind of upset, but we also understood why the girls were just still like, look, we still healing. It may be petty to you. For you may say it's easy to forgive, but nothing has ever been easy to forgive for us. Even
Right.
when, you know, we've had moments when Emily's been mad at Spencer. Allison and Spencer have been mad at each other. Those rifts normally are not fixed in one
Definitely.
episode. They're normally between 2 episodes. It takes them a minute or it takes them a couple days in TV time
Mm-hmm.
to get back on track, and then they forgive each other and they move on because that is the moral compass of the story is friendship.
Definitely.
So,
And even like one scene I appreciate after Ezra kind of goes off on the girls, they find Arya, blah blah blah. Allie,
yes.
she takes a big step. We even talked about it when we were talking about Mona or whatever. She takes a big step to say, you know what, we're sorry we shut you out.
That was so high school. I thought that was the
Definitely.
new thing.
And even with her saying this kind of started with me in a sense, you know, and I just appreciate that because like honestly, like I don't feel like she had to do it
I agree.
because she wasn't there, you know, when they were going through high schools and when
Right,
they were getting
absolutely.
closer. But it still was like, wow, like I saw so much growth just in that scene from Allie because, you know, Allie is the bitch. Allie is the one, the reason why they're in this mess, you know, not per se.
No,
but,
no, I know, I
It
know
all
what you mean.
started like when
Yeah.
she disappeared.
Absolutely.
And it's like, you know, Emily's back there hush hush quiet, but you could see like she feels the same way, just doesn't know how to put it in words. And I thought that was a very beautiful scene.
No, it was. And I think, you know, every time we talk about, you know, how the characters have changed, and a lot of characters, you know, they've all changed and evolved. I mean, when you think about Emily's growth from season 1 to now to the strong, confident woman
Yeah.
she is, not just about her sexuality, but in general. At one point, she was the weakest link.
Yeah.
We've seen Spencer go through so much and still stand strong. We've seen Hannah mature and grow. You know what I mean? We've seen Arya, even though she was the compassionate, romantic one, she's still that, but she's grown strong. She's grown tough. So I think for Allie to see this arc go from bitchy Allie to mean girl Allie to go to this woman that you can really say like, wow, you really have grown to a point. Like I said, you didn't have to say it, but you chose to. Instead of it being a Spencer, instead of it being an Emily or a Hannah,
Yeah,
you
and
chose
she
to say
apologized
it.
for all of them. Even though she knows it's gonna take probably
Yeah,
a
it's
little
gonna
bit of
take-
time,
it's gonna take some
but she
time.
apologized for all of them because their friendship is so connected.
It is.
They want to talk to Arya. They want
Absolutely.
to forgive her. She just wasn't there.
She just wasn't there. And I think Arya understood in the same sense of, you know, I'm still sorry. It wasn't like I deserve an apology. It was more so like, I'm still sorry. Because at the end of the day, I still broke a trust. And I know what it's like to have that trust broken, whether we talk about Ezra, whether it was back in
parents.
high school. Yeah, like you said, her parents with my father cheating on my mother. Whether it was back in high school when A or Mona at the time would put us against each other and make us. We've all been there. So I understand the pain of what it's like to go through that. And I understand being put in that position before. So I think, like you said, it was just a beautiful scene. I think for it to be Allie showed a lot of growth.
I
A lot
love
of
it.
growth in her character. So I thought it was great, and I think it was a good like icing on top too. Look, we don't have to have this full blown out apology. Let's just
Definitely.
leave it where it is. And I think the full blown out apology even came at the very end when Spencer says, "I'm not sure about anything." No, I take that back. I am sure about all of you. Because I think it went, and now even when she looks at Arya, like all of you, that includes you. Yeah, we've been hurt. Yeah, we've been through a lot. But at the end of the day, no matter what, going even back to Hannah's line, I know we've all been through our crap, but I don't think any one of you would hurt me intentionally. Blah, blah, blah. I think no matter what, even though they were pissed at Arya, still maybe some wounds there, we all love each other. Because at the end of the day, this is a sisterhood. I don't
Yeah.
even think it's a friendship anymore. It truly is a sisterhood between
Definitely.
these girls. So I did love those moments for sure.
Yep.
Another great moment I thought was Mary.
Yeah.
Mary Drake had some great scenes. The first one I think was with Spencer,
Yeah.
as far as just her giving Spencer and Allie the Lost Woods. I like the fact that she's including Allie. I like the fact because I think,
I mean, she did kill her mom.
well, I think beyond that, I think she does regret. I think she almost told Allie when Allie first got out of Wellbeing, you know,
Yeah.
they kind of lived in a house together. I judged you off your mother, thinking you were like her or you would be like her, and I'm realizing you're nothing like her.
Right.
And I think she's regretted that, like she said, because it wasn't in her mind, according to what her conversations were with Archer, it was never supposed to go that far. All she really wanted was justice in the sense of maybe Allie is locked up and I want her money, but it was never supposed to be, you know, all of a sudden you trying to kill her and you put
Yeah.
this girl through psychological torture, blah blah blah. So
Pregnate her.
Exactly. So I think for her, she understands, you know, I owe Allie just like I owe you. But I love the scene between Spencer. I would have loved for it to be, instead of just an arm grab and a, you know, please be careful, I would have liked for it to be a hug, or as you said.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I was really hoping like at least Mary would have been like, I love you. And it's okay even if Spencer would have said it. Like,
But I think it needs to be Mary. I think
I
think
think
Spencer needs to know she's loved.
right. So I really want Mary eventually to be like, I love you, Spencer.
I think we're gonna get it in the finale.
I
honestly
hope
do.
so, and I kind of want Spencer to be like, I love you, but in her own like Spencer way.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could have grown to love you more,
more,
or
right.
something like that. I just wanted that. Because like I feel like Spencer has love for her, because like now she knows why she's kind of damaged. I mean, she understands her addiction a little bit more, or where it come from.
Yeah, I think it's just I think Spencer is really, and they haven't really touched on this as much as I like. I think Spencer is really trying to figure out in her subtle way who she is. Is she Spencer Hastings? Is she Spencer Drake? Is she Spencer Drake Hastings? Is she Spencer Hastings Drake? Is she just Spencer? I think that's what she struggled with, and because she's always felt like the
I like
oddball.
that.
Oh, you like that?
She's just Spencer.
I think that's the thing. I think, and I'm
like
hoping
that.
we kind of maybe get that. And it goes back to the scene that we had back when they first found Allie. And remember, they're at Ezra's movie theater that's family owned.
Yeah.
And they're while Allie's asleep, Hannah, Emily, and Spencer are having this great conversation about, you know, can you imagine an A-free lives? And Hannah's making a joke like, I think I might pick up a sport. And they're like, which one? And she says, well, I've always liked, you know, Spencer's field hockey skirt. And she's like, you could totally have it, laughing. And then Emily says, what about you, Spence? Well, what would you do? And she was like, well, I wouldn't want to go back to how I was before, because all I cared about is winning. Now I just really want to be happy. I thought that was a very sincere moment. Of course, we know she doesn't really get that, because, you know, here comes some more crap.
She gets shot. Her
but
mother's not her mother.
but
Her sister possibly trying to kill it.
Exactly. So it's just more crap. But I think that goes back to when I say just Spencer, that's what I think about. I just want to just be Spencer. And I think sometimes for Spencer, she questions it so much, because she's always constantly, long before Mary came in, she questioned who she was in her family.
She didn't really
her
belong.
role, where does she belong, how do I belong, even within the group. I think, you know, even though she's always felt love from them, there's always, I think, been a certain insecurity there too. So I think for Spencer, I just really want Spencer to have that moment. And if that means having a relationship with Mary, I would love for that to happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen by the finale, we'll see, but I think that was a beautiful scene, and it led to an even more beautiful yet heartbreaking scene when Mary actually gave herself up for the liars, admitted to killing Archer, even though she did it. She also admitted to killing Jessica De Laurentiis, which was the first time Allie heard
it. Yep.
And I felt my heart broke for Allie.
It did, because like this is the first time Allie heard about her mother's killing. She knew someone messed with her mother's pill, but she's watching this lady take the fall for her that looks like her mother, who killed her mother.
It is. It's a complex.
And
this is when you gotta love Marlene King and the writers.
Right, because I'm like, girl, you did that. And like you could just see kind of like the heartbreak on Allie's face, but you also see that sort of, well, my mother wasn't innocent.
Right. And I think that's the hardest thing. It was kind of what we always said, because we wanted Peter to die. We were always said if Peter Hastings was to die, this is probably how Spencer would feel. No matter who did it, it would be a thing of, my father wasn't the greatest man, not just in general, but even to me.
Right.
But I think for the same reasons, I loved him. He was my father. So he's part of the reason I'm in this world. So there will always be a part of me that loves him, but there's always a big conflict or empty space there also because of him. And I think that's kind of like you said with Allie and Jessica, it's the same thing. I know my mother wasn't innocent. And I think the biggest thing too for Allie when it came to Jessica was there was just so many things left unanswered, because
why did you cover for
Charlotte? Charlotte.
Why did you hate Spencer so much, and you hated her so much that you made yourself believe she was gonna hurt me?
Yeah, I think a lot of that goes back to the fact that she really hated Spencer because she was a product of how her sister tricked. I do think she truly wanted to be with Peter, just like I think Peter really wanted to be with Jessica at one point, and it just never happened because of other reasons. But I think there's always been a big level of resentment towards Mary, and she took it out on Spencer in a very.
But then you like love Charles, help her go through that change,
right? But I think that's always been the unanswered question that I mean,
just like, how could you cover for this person that you knew? Like, I blame Jessica, and I definitely blame Peter for the liars ending up in that bunker, for the simple fact that they could have said Charlotte is dangerous or Cece is dangerous, and they didn't have to know she was A. They could have just said, hey, stay away from her. Well, I mean, she tried to tell Allie stay away, but I also feel like, hold on, buddy, your daughter
Well, I think that's going to be always the thing of the show. When we go back, it's no different. If the liars had just done this, if Byron had just did this, if Jessica had just said this, I think that's one of the things about the show that will always frustrate us. Like, dang it, if y'all had just did the right thing,
open your goddamn
from
mouth.
the beginning, this probably would have never happened. But then if that does happen, then we don't have a show.
Right.
So I'm gonna shut up. But I get what you're saying.
I blame them.
I blame him. And big shout out to Andrea Parker, who played Jessica De Laurentiis and also plays Mary Drake. Because Andrea Parker, again, is a phenomenal actress, and she continues to blow me away. Whether she's playing Jessica, whether she's playing Mary, she continues to blow me away.
I love the dark hair on her, too.
Yeah, I do, too. I love it. Looks good on her. So I think that was an amazing scene. I really wish Spencer could have got a moment with her. But I think the main thing I walked away with from that scene was, Mary, how involved you are this? Because you knew a lot of details about Archer's murder that you really shouldn't have known. And me and you have always believed that she knows who AD is, or at one point might have even been working with AD, because we still to this day never got an answer as far as why was Mary in that blind school right before the girls arrived. We don't know how long she had been there. We don't know what she was there for. But if you guys remember, at 7:10, right before Spencer gets shot, when the girls first walk into the blind school so they can go get Hannah's kidnapping,
which they confirmed. She did not shoot Spencer.
Well, right now,
what's the blind girl? Jenna.
Sydney said she shot Spencer.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, Jenna.
Shut up, Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney said she shot, and that hasn't been disclosed yet in the sense of, no, that's a lie. I assume if it is a lie, it'll get discussed in the finale. Like, no, Sydney never did. AD did, or somebody else did. But Sydney told Aria when she was recruiting her for the A team or AD team that I shot Spencer.
Well, technically, I feel like she was just repeating.
No, I agree.
Okay.
So that's why we've always said we still think AD possibly did it, but until I get confirmation from AD, I'm just going off the limb there right now. Sydney said she did it. I don't think Sydney did it. I think it was AD.
Gotcha.
But you know, that was that. So we still don't know why Mary was in that school or in the blind school, why she was there. It's never been asked by any of the liars, because obviously it just was so many other things they were focused on. And then, like we said, to know these details and everything like that. And I think even
getting shot.
Yeah, the shower.
The shower.
Yeah, I know what you meant. I think all those details. And then I think even in the sense of just Mary being gone. Like we said, it's been a lot of episodes where Mary's been close. I know what's going on, but we haven't seen you around. You know, so I think she's been watching, and I wouldn't be surprised if she at least knows who AD is, and that's what's made me wonder, does she possibly have a connection to AD, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. But I think that's kind of my question, because we know she's going to be in the finale event, so I'm very curious to see kind of how much Mary knows and how much she's linked to this. I don't think she's going to be AD, but I wouldn't be surprised if she has some type of link to AD, whether I knew who it was and maybe I was working with this person originally, because,
or it's my child.
Or it's my child, possibly. So I think it's going to be interesting kind of where this story ends for Mary in the finale, for sure.
Definitely.
So there was definitely a lot of things that we liked in this episode. We liked, obviously, the whole Mona, Charlotte. Big shout out again to Janelle Parrish and Vanessa Ray. You guys killed that scene. And then Mona, Janelle, you killed it as Mona later, going into that innocent state. You killed it. You made me almost cry. Almost. You didn't make me cry, though.
I just felt bad.
I did, too. I'm pretty sure some other fans, too. We also had some great content with Aria and the girls, particularly Allie and Aria's kind of moment. We definitely loved that one. And then we also had some great content with Mary. Mary and Spencer. Mary admitting to not only killing Jessica for the first time in front of Allie, but also, you know, basically sacrificing herself and saying, hey, I killed Archer, too. Which led to another great scene that we liked between Tanner and the girls. We really did like that scene, because as you said, you felt a difference in Tanner this season.
I did, because last season Tanner used to just she used to just piss me off. But the thing is about Tanner this time around, I feel like because she was so amped to prove the girls are guilty of something last season, she wasn't listening or actually looking at their, you know, situation clear enough, and that's how they end up in the dollhouse. I feel like this time she wants to prevent that.
I agree, even though it doesn't look like it's still going to be prevented, but
right,
yes, I get what you're saying.
You know, but like she wants to prevent, so she's actually like, look, tell me the truth, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if you tell me the truth, we'll figure it out. And then that's why, and also another thing, when she was telling the girls, like, the DA likes a clean thing, I feel like Tanner was literally about to, like, cover for these girls.
No, I think she's basically admitting, when Spencer even is asking, do you think Mary did it? She's basically telling him, I know Mary didn't do this.
She killed Jessica,
She killed Jessica, but she didn't kill Archer. But I am choosing to accept this woman's, you know, plea almost of help and saying, look, please take me. I am at least guilty of somebody's murder. Yes, they technically are too, but it's not for the reasons you think. And like all the cops knew, it's not like Archer was this great American guy. Like, oh yeah, hunky dory. No, he was a criminal.
He wasn't even American, I don't think.
Well, you know what I'm saying. But he wasn't just, well, we don't really know anything about him. Just because you got an accent don't mean anything, because, I mean, you might just perfected it, bro. But I'm just saying, the way it is, I think Tanner knows. I think Tanner knows this is a cover-up for the girls. But I think she chooses to acknowledge it. That's why I love the line when she says, you guys aren't criminals.
Nah.
You never were.
No.
And whether I just now realizing that, whether I realized it after the dollhouse, you guys aren't criminals. And I want you guys to remember that you guys aren't. But go live your lives to the fullest and almost basically stop getting yourself into these situations.
Please.
But
Jesus.
I did appreciate that scene with Tanner. And it makes me wonder how much Tanner's going to be involved. Because again, I mean, are we going to have any police involved in this finale at all? Because we don't really know.
Is there no more Marco?
Well, Marco's gone. They may have him reappear. I don't know. It was never confirmed that he was coming back. All Marco, the actor who played Marco, all he ever confirmed was that Marco gets out of Rosewood alive, which technically he did. He did get out of Rosewood alive. So I don't know if they're going to bring him back at all. I don't even know if we're going to see Tanner in this finale. It's possible because I don't know how they're going to do this whole ending with AD. I am assuming right now that AD will probably die. I just don't see AD going to jail, but you just never know. So we just got to wait and see. But I'm curious if we're going to see any Tanner. But if we don't see any more Tanner, I think that was a great way to end her in this, her kind of moment with the liars and on the show.
Made me like her again.
Yeah, for sure. I like I said, definite respect for Tanner. That was a beautiful scene. I think another scene we liked, or more so we cracked the heck up at, was Arya
dead body.
was talking to that dead body in the trunk, and
getting answers.
And getting answers, like every time the body would move, okay, I'm happy you agree. I mean, it was just kind of like, big shot. Lucy Hale did a heck of a job playing Dark Arya.
Like, I can do this. I know, I can end this right now.
I can end this right now.
I can take you to the police
I
station.
loving it.
And boom. Okay, we agree.
You agree? Yeah, I thought
Arya, that's what?
Yeah, I thought those were some great moments for Arya because again, it just shows the comedic side of Arya. It just shows a lot of different things. I think in general. So I definitely love that moment. I thought it was a dope moment. It was a funny moment. It had a couple people thinking that Arya had a personality disorder, but it still was just a funny scene. So big shout out to them for adding that little comedic moment of Arya just kind of being like, you know what? I don't know what you think is gonna happen, and I'm just kind of like, Arya, it's a dead body. Right. But it still was a heck of a scene, and I loved it.
I was with it.
I thought or at least I know I did. I'm pretty sure you did too. I liked the Spencer Caleb scene.
I did. It was cute.
I thought it was. I like the fact that I wanted Caleb or Hannah to be the one. I didn't want her to see a ring or for it to be like a group thing. I wanted Spencer to be told on her own by either both of them or one of them. So I like the fact that it was kind of a private one between her and Caleb. I like the fact that it was almost like, oh, no wonder you didn't want her climbing down the walls. Congratulations. I love how she kind of did that. And I really like even what both of them said. And, a lot of people I think kind of took Spencer's comment when she said, don't be sorry for what we had, or don't forget me, or don't forget what we had. I know I won't. Some people kind of took it as like, oh, don't forget all the good times we had, like, oh, we were
it was more so like, don't regret us because we grew together.
Yeah, absolutely.
We came together in a moment where we were both kind of like lonely. That's how I kind of feel. You were supposed to be there for that moment.
Yeah, I think she understood that, and I think Caleb and Hannah will always feel a certain level of maybe guilt about how it was handled because they did hurt Spencer because of they weren't ready to admit that they wanted to still be with each other. But like you said, Spencer at the end of the day has always been to me one of the most giving characters on the show in the sense of she truly does love hard and forever, and she wants those two people that she does love to be happy, and she understands it's with each other. And I've always said I think any type of love you have a person, whether it's a romantic relationship, whether it's friendship, when you truly love somebody, you want the best for them, even if that means it's not with you. And I think that's pretty much, as you said, what she was kind of just saying. It was just more so in a sense of, I just want you to know I'm happy for you guys, but I don't want you to ever feel ashamed or sorry or feel like you can't bring up or think about what we had without thinking negatively or thinking bad about it. We're still okay. This will always be something I can look back on and still be happy that we went through, but I'm also happy for what you and Hannah have now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. I think the only thing about this episode that maybe we didn't really like,
I didn't like the dream crap,
was the dream crap. And we got confirmation about why this dream happened, because a lot of people were upset, like, this was what this big, scene was. We got it at the end of 6A going into 6B. That was kind of how they ended 6A, was Allie, we came back here for you, so move it. But Marlene King did confirm the reason that scene took place was mainly just because they never decided what they wanted to do with that scene. And they didn't want to instead of just saying, we never decided, we're going to turn it into a dream sequence. Because she said originally it was just to give you an idea of the girls in the 5-year jump.
Yeah.
That's really what it's for, to give you an idea of their new looks and to get you excited about this new mystery. Maybe at the time they could have used it for Archer or something like that, or if Marco had been around, maybe with police warrants, they could have used it for that. But instead, they didn't.
It would have been more smart,
But they didn't. They kind of held it till the end, and then they were like, well, we don't want to just throw it away or
They
say we're
should've.
not going to use it. So her thing was, we ended up making it this nightmare sequence for Emily, in the sense of her being worried that she could not protect Allie like she had promised.
Right.
So I felt like it was kind of like the Jailhouse Rock thing with Mona, even though we thought
It was a
Janelle
great
Parrish
song.
did a great job performing. It was just, it was very creative. I think at the same time, it was just one of those scenes we were just like, okay, I could have dealt without it. I didn't need this particularly, as much as I love these musical liars because they're all pretty musically talented. I was just kind of like, I didn't really need this scene. We could have added an extra Mary scene or extra Spencer scene, extra
Right.
Allie scene, but we didn't get that, so it was kind of like, okay. And that's kind of how I felt about here. But I'm not going to get too big on that because, like I said, that's just the creative process of them, and this creative process that they have is one of the reasons we love the show so much. So I'm not going to make a big deal about one scene that I didn't particularly care for. But yeah, at the same time, y'all could
I could have wrote a letter.
You could have wrote a letter. I don't think she would have followed what you said, but
Just a few tips,
just a
Marlene.
few tips. Just a few tips.
When you do Perfectionist, let's just not.
Alright, and speaking of Marlene King in that same interview, Entertainment Live, that she did with Sasha Peterson, who plays Allison, she confirmed a few things for the finale. For one, Jason will not be back.
My man.
Jason will not be back. It is not because Jason didn't want to come back, or Drew Van Acker, who plays Jason, didn't want to come back. Drew Van Acker is actually on another show right now, or is part of another show, whether it's on TV or not, I don't know. But basically, it was a contract issue, and we know that does sometimes happen. In fact, that was why Marlene King was saying she's so excited that they got Tori DeVito back, who plays Melissa, because obviously Tori DeVito is a huge character on Chicago Med, which comes on NBC. So they were saying it was kind of tough, but we figured it out. We were able to get her back,
Right.
so that was big. So even though Jason won't be there, obviously Melissa will be back, Ren will be back, the PLL moms will be back. So far, I know for a fact that Ella Montgomery, Arya's mother, also known as Piper Hallowell, from Charmed, as so many people know her. She's back. Ashley Mirren, who we've gotten a chance to see quite a bit this season, is back. Also, Spencer's mom, who we've seen quite a bit.
Her other mom.
Her other mom, Veronica, her adoptive mother. She is also back in the scene. And I believe Pam Fields will also be back.
Yes.
So I'm very, very excited about that. The only people, like I said, who haven't really officially been confirmed were the long lost fathers.
Yeah, no one really cares. Byron, you're a cheater. Peter, we can't stand you.
But they might still pop up. Maybe they're just not. Because the BLL moms, I mean, they're just hilarious. I mean, we all still crack up about the wine moms.
She said not enough.
It's just, oh shit, I spilled. Not enough. I mean, I just love, and then just Pam with the forever meme, just like,
Oh my god, I use that GIF on Twitter all the time.
oh my god, I'm telling you, it is classic.
Like, oh my god, stuff's about to go down, sips tea.
Exactly. So I'm very, very excited to see the moms back. We also know in this episode, or in the finale, we will get the actual conclusion, discovery, if you will, of Emerson's baby daddy.
It's either Jason, Charles, before, because
yes,
Charlotte might have kept her penis.
yeah.
Or Wayne.
Who?
Emily's dad.
Oh, Wayne.
Yeah. It would be weird, but I would like it.
The only reason I don't think they would go that is because we don't really need Emily's DNA at this point. The reason
You're correct.
The reason I
think of
wanted
that.
it to be Jason or Charles or Charlotte was because I wanted it to still have a link to Allison, me personally. I think that was more so the thing I felt. I really wanted this baby to have a link to the Allison's bloodline, so it made sense for it to possibly be Jason. Or it could be Charles, like we said, Charlotte maybe still has some equipment down there, or maybe just before surgery took place. I'll let you say it. Nevertheless, maybe Charlotte also maybe before the change happened, maybe thought about kids or thought about maybe trying to keep some sperm around just in case. You never know.
Well, good for Archer for going at her.
So nevertheless, I think it'll be interesting who the father is. If it's not somebody within that kind of De Laurentiis Drake family, then I think my next question would be, well, who would be the next suspect? Would it be somebody kind of who died years ago, or somebody we haven't even thought about, or would it be somebody like recently that we've
who
seen?
has been in surgery?
Okay.
Like, who has been in the hospital the
not,
previous seasons.
I'm not going through this with her. The point is, we will get Emerson baby daddy, and I'm very, very interested to see who this baby dad is going to be, and then just how really it affects it. Because depending on who the baby dad is, it could affect. I don't think affected in a bad way, but obviously if this is somebody who's living and it's not a bad person, it's kind of like, oh, well, will this person have a connection?
I hope it's not Ted.
Or could it be, like we said, somebody who's maybe dead or somebody who's gonna die in the finale, things like that. So I'm very, very interested to see who this Emerson baby daddy is going to be. Also confirmed by Marlene, we know that there will be some masks involved.
2, right?
1 or 2. She said it's definitely 1, and she said maybe like 1.5. So a lot of people have been saying like 1 or 2 masks. So we at least know 1 or 2 mask moments may happen. What those masks are, we don't know. But I personally believe, because I think for right now, I mean, the biggest, beyond the Emerson baby daddy question, the real big question I have is, of course, the big one of them all. Who is AD? So for me, my 2 top picks are Spencer's twin is still a big possibility, especially if you've seen the promo for this finale. It definitely gives you some Spencer twin theory beyond just all these moments we've had during the season.
Right.
The finale definitely gives you some moments like, you know what, I think Spencer might have a twin. And then my second choice is really at this point Melissa. Even though I know Ren is back, I don't think Ren is going to be AD. I think Ren is going to be a helper or a minion or however you want to, partner, whatever, of AD. But I do not think that Ren will be AD. I think at this point it will be a Spencer twin or it will be Melissa. How about you?
I'm just going with the twin. I'm gonna do Melissa, and I'm not quite sure if Charlotte is dead or if Charles is dead. So I
think that's still a good theory to have, though, because I mean we talked about this off camera plenty of times, that maybe in reality, maybe Mary had twins. Maybe Spencer's not the twin, but maybe Charlotte or Charles was the twin. So maybe it was a Charles and a Charlotte twins, and maybe Charlotte's really dead and Charles is alive. Maybe Charles ended up turning himself to look exactly like his sister. So maybe, and we kept saying, well, maybe Cece and Charlotte were 2 different people. Maybe Charles was actually Cece and Charlotte was actually Charlotte. So we've always had these discussions about that possibility. It's crazy enough that Marlene and them could just do it. Vanessa Ray could definitely pull it off. And I think that's always been my thing with these AD theories. When I think about AD, because everybody's been blowing it up, particularly everybody, and I do mean everybody from the cast to the writers to the producers, everybody keeps saying it's not just it's the final AD. It's the fact that this is so brilliant, the way they put it together. So for me, I'm like, well, who's going to pull off this brilliant plan? And to me, it's only so many actresses on the show who can do it. Troy Belisario, to me, is the best actress on the show. Yeah. So I know she could pull it off, and she would kill it like she does everything else.
Well, my theory of Mona is out, but I know she definitely could have.
Yeah, Mona, Janelle Parrish could have pulled it off. Tori DeVito, I've seen her pull off these type of psychological, insane, mentally ill type roles before. So I definitely think Tori DeVito could do it as Melissa. And I honestly think Vanessa Ray, she already, did have some, like I said, whether you like the Charlotte reveal 2 seasons ago, you have to admit Vanessa Ray did a heck of a job, playing Charlotte / Cece. So I definitely have respect for her, and she could definitely pull it off. So for me, that's the other thing I think about when I think about AD, is who can pull off this reveal and make me feel chills and make me be like, whoa. And to me, those 3 actresses, along with Janelle Parrish, even though, like you said, that theory may be out the window, could definitely pull it off.
Definitely.
So I think it's going to be a heck of a finale. Like I said, the promo has me excited because Mona definitely looks like she's going to be right in the heart of it. We see her not only finding out who AD is possibly early, but we also see her...
She bitch slapped the hell out of Spencer.
Or is that Spencer? That's been a big question mark, because we also see Spencer hugging Mary one moment, and it looks like Mary is actually like sticking a needle or maybe hurting Spencer. So a lot of people have been questioning that scene. Like, what does that mean? So could that again mean a Spencer twin theory possibly? It's definitely possible. Or is it maybe Melissa, since we know 1 or 2 masks are going to be involved? Is it Melissa's been basically wearing a Spencer mask?
But that would be so twisted if she's the one that slept with Toby.
Well, that's another interesting. We know Toby will definitely be here for the finale, so that's something definitely to look forward to. And not like we said, well, other characters will be back. We already mentioned Ren and Melissa. Jenna will be back. I haven't heard anything about like Lucas or Sydney, but it's still a possibility. So I think it's going to be epic. For
I think
sure.
Lucas is coming back. He said he does come back.
Yeah, I believe he is. I just haven't seen any scenes with him yet, but I believe he's back. I'm pretty sure Sydney might, if she's not back, she might at least be mentioned. Yeah. So I definitely think this is going to be a full circle finale. I think it is going to be brilliant, and based on what I understand, they will be starting off this episode with the 1-year time jump. From what
because AD just drove off in the sunset, and I kind of want to see how they're going to kind of do this, because from one of the Entertainment Weekly got a hold of a page of the script, and it actually was between some of the girls actually at the Lost Woods Resort, and it kind of led you to believe that Spencer and Allison have kind of taken over the Lost Woods Resort as Mary wanted
wanted them to, and redesigned it and everything like that. So that makes me think Spencer has probably stayed in Rosewood and is continuing to kind of maybe build a life here. Allison and Emily, we expect.
Because it's like she never really wanted to be in politics, but she just thought she had to be.
Right. So I think she's kind of doing that. I'm interested to see kind of what her relationships are with her parents, because it looks like her mom is obviously still in Rosewood. So I'm interested just to kind of see what's been going on in that year. We won't get to see obviously Allison pregnant at this point when they come to 1 year time jump. I expect the baby or babies, because some people said they think she may have had twins. It has never been confirmed, so I'm just still patiently waiting. But we should see Allison and Emily being parents and co-parenting and everything like that. But I got the idea that they stayed there. I don't know about Aria and Ezra, if they in that 1 year jump they supposed to be living in Rosewood, or if they're coming just back for a wedding or a celebration. Same thing with Hannah and Caleb. I don't know if they're staying or if
I think their place always been like New York.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I wouldn't be surprised if they just kind of are. It's kind of like almost a reuniting moment, because it makes sense that this would probably be for. I'm assuming they're coming back for a year. For one, it's snowing in one of the scenes, so I'm like, well, maybe it's supposed to be Christmas time. And then I was like, on top of that, if Aria and Ezra are supposed to be having their big wedding finally, it would make sense that you guys would be coming back for this big grand wedding. I think that would be also the other question I have beyond just seeing what kind of happens in this 1 year time jump. One of the questions I have is, Marlene said the person who changes the most in the 1 year time jump is Toby. She said that in her interview with Entertainment Tonight, and I'm interested to see in what way and how that affects Spoby. And then I am also very curious to see what has AD been doing for a year, because when they made that decision to end it in the way of her driving or him driving, whoever it is, we think it's a her, but you know, AD driving into the sunset or driving off into the lights, it was kind of like, well, if we start this episode off with the time jump, what has AD been doing, and why did you take a year off? Did you want them to feel safe, or is this now some new grand plan? I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to do that. And of course, that's probably going to be based off whoever AD is.
Right. Plotting. Just plotting. No good. They made another game.
Right. So I'm excited to just see this. And again, definitely excited to see Mona's role in it, because from based on the promo, Mona says, you know, oh my God, I never would have believed it was you. And like we said, we do see Mona back in a black hoodie slapping Spencer, or possibly slapping Spencer's twin. So what is Mona's involvement? We've always talked about her being a possible sacrificial lamb along with Mary. So it's been a lot of rumors that it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be people who are going to die. We have had our list earlier, people who could possibly die: the Jennas, the Lucases, the people we don't care the about. Monas, possibly a Mary Drake. We obviously don't think any of the liars are going to die. I don't think any of their significant others are going to die, like their in-game couples. So obviously, I don't think Allison will die. I don't think Emily would die. I think they could get hurt, but I don't think they would die. I think Ezra could get hurt, seriously injured, but I don't think he would die. I don't think they would kill Caleb. I don't think they would kill Toby. So even if Spencer and Toby are not in game, I still don't think they would kill Toby. So I think those people are kind of safe as far as from death, but I think everybody else is kind of fair game.
Fair game. Yeah.
So I'm excited for
Bye, Peter.
Right, bye, Peter. You can kill Peter Hastings all you want. But I'm very excited for the finale. It's going to be a great ending to, I think, a great 7 years, but I think it's going to be bittersweet, especially for fans like yourself, because as I've always said, you know, I was a binge watcher. I came in literally like a month before these final 10 episodes started airing, and I'm very grateful and happy that I did, because I love the show. But when I think about how I was able to go from these cliffhanger moments and finales to just go right to the next episode, I commend you and everybody else who has been around for at least 6-7 years, because how you guys did
Thank you, Tumblr.
You know, continue to do this and have to wait months
It
to
took
find
a
out.
lot of strength, and there was times where I know a lot of fans kind of was like, died down from it, but then went like right back in. I grew up with the show. The show came out when I was about 15. I'm 20, about to be 24. So it's like I grew up with them too, like with the liars in high school being bullied, like all that. You know, no, I wasn't getting no threatening texts, and I definitely wasn't sleeping with my teacher. But it's one of those bittersweet moments, because it's like they're continuing growing into their adulthood and figuring that stuff out, and so are like some of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's gonna be the beautiful thing. And I've even heard a couple of the liars, like Sasha mentioned that in an interview, like she knows a woman who literally grew up watching the show, and her thing is she's been watching this from the very beginning, and one of the things, the tradition was they always watch the very first, they watch the premiere and they watch the finales together, and that's it. She's like, oh my God, this is gonna be like me and my group of friends' last finale. Even Sasha said the goal is to get all the girls and Marlene are actually gonna maybe possibly rent out a theater and watch the finale together, which I think is gonna be great. So it's gonna be great to be on their Snapchats watching them. So I think, like you said, it's gonna be amazing, but it's gonna be bittersweet, because no matter what, I think if you've grown to love this show
Yeah.
and this family, and I think we have not just grown to like this show, and we've grown to like the people behind the scenes, whether we're talking about Marlene King, the producers, the writers. I mean, we've grown to love these actors and actresses to the point where I want to follow what Troyan does from here on and beyond. I want to
Yeah.
follow Sasha. I want to follow Shay and keep up with these people because I've seen them grow just like we've grown with them. So I think it's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be amazing, but it's gonna be bittersweet. But I can't wait for Tuesday. It's gonna.
I
be
can't
amazing.
either. I'm freaking out.
I'm freaking out too. So it's gonna be amazing. Be sure to tune into Freeform. It's a 3-hour event. You got the 2-hour finale, and then you actually have a 1-hour A-list rap party where they're
I'm gonna
actually
catch that on DVD.
where they're actually gonna discuss,
5 o'clock
you know,
wake up.
the actual finale and everything like that. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna probably have some heartfelt goodbyes to the fans as well. So I'm excited to see it all. But I definitely encourage you, if you can avoid DVR and watch it live for the first time.
Oh, I'm
I'm
watching
actually
it
gonna watch it
live.
live. Normally I DVR the 1-hour episode, then I just watch it like at 9 o'clock instead of watching it at 8. But I'm very, very excited. I'm gonna watch it 8 to 10, and then I'm tuning right in for the A-list rap party. So don't forget to tune in.
Ayo, DirecTV, don't mess up this time.
Yeah, don't mess up.
Because I had to watch it on my tablet. Okay, don't do that to me.
don't do that to her. Don't do
Or anybody else. I got DirecTV.
Yeah,
Okay,
don't do it to anybody. Don't do it to any TV network. We need
We're talking
this.
to DirecTV.
In anybody, because I don't want any other TV networks getting any ideas either. Tuesday,
true.
don't
That's
mess
true.
up on Tuesday, okay?
At 8 o'clock, from 8 to what? 11
to 11. Don't
You
mess
can't
up.
mess up, bro.
Don't mess up.
Don't do
after
that.
I can still care because I may want to watch something after, but don't mess up specifically during that time. It will be good. Will be good.
That's all I'm saying.
But nevertheless, be sure to tune in to Freeform on Tuesday for that 3-hour event. It starts at 8 o'clock and it's not going to stop until 11 o'clock. And don't, of course, forget, we're going to be recapping as soon as possible because I know we're going to be crying, but we're also going to be very excited to
can
discuss
y'all
the
give
ending.
us like 2 days?
Maybe 2 days. We may be a little slow on the video, but it's going to be good. It's coming, I promise you. It's coming right after the finale. We got y'all. So thank you guys for tuning in as always, and we cannot wait to say goodbye to the Pretty Little Liars right there with you.